won't be nothing. Now they always say congratulations. Work so hard, forgot how to vacation.
All right, everybody, and welcome to the Swiss Army Nerd Podcast. This is the Sports Center edition. This is your host, John Sickrod, and my co-host,
Stephen Cockerham.
Yes, and we are here. We're back. We had a pretty good one last week, I think, in my opinion. We did the Habanero Challenge, which ended up doing great numbers.
You were the highlight of that. I can't tell you how many text messages I got the next day saying you were hysterical.
This is not real.
That was the scary part about, like, I was watching that.
Go away.
The scary part about rewatching that is, like, I have, like, PTSD from that. I don't remember any of that. Like, it's crazy.
The memes that I'm in the process of making right now.
If I become a meme, I'll be very happy with that. But yeah, it was a good one, the Habanero Challenge. That was crazy. A lot of people actually ended up digging the whole challenge idea. So we actually have a couple in the brew house. We did a little poll thing at a couple of people. Some people want us to wax ourselves.
I saw that. No.
A chest wax?
Yes.
Sticky?
Chest wax.
Honey.
What was the other one? Yeah, the one we're actually doing, I guess we'll do the reveal now. The one we're doing next week is me and you, we're blindfolded, and there's 10 dishes, and we have to compete. And so we have to take a bite. We don't know what it is. We have to guess what it is, and
I don't like that.
I guess
Who's going to set it up?
Erin, our producer, actually.
I got one.
If someone puts mayonnaise in there, I will punch
Yeah,
them.
same.
in the head.
Mayonnaise it out. She wanted us to eat a jar of mayonnaise at
Nope.
first. I was like, no.
I'll
fuck
smell it as soon as I open it.
I'll
I'll
puke.
gag.
Yep, same
So,
here.
what if we come up with a good challenge, and the loser has to shave their beard?
No.
Oh, I can't do
Come
that.
up with a good challenge, the loser it's for the views, man.
I don't care.
It's straight content.
I'm calling off of work for a week.
You got to use the 2 weeks off.
Deep depression.
Right? That'd be a tough recovery process. I think I'd rather get my eyebrows waxed
Oh, for
than
sure.
shave my beard.
One eyebrow? Just one. Not both, just one.
We'll let the viewers decide.
There we go. But yeah, a lot of people like the challenge, so that was exciting. And we're back in full force. The whole squad's here. Aaron, our producer, isn't, but we're still back in full force, ready to go. So we'll just jump right into it. We're going to start with NBA. We talked last week, actually, about Manu Ginobili. And we questioned, is he going to retire? And he retired.
Yep. So, Spurs fans, nice knowing you.
That's the end of the big three.
it's done.
Some people could say that's the original big three, if you think about it. Duncan, Ginobili, and Parker.
Yep.
Man, they were animals. They ruled the roost. They got, what, I think 5 rings? 5 rings during that time?
I believe, yeah.
So, yeah, they're going to go down in history for sure. But I think it's pretty cool. I was never a big Ginobili fan, but I'm glad to see him go in the sense of he had 16 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like he had a short career.
No, he had an incredible career, so good for him. He made bank. He probably could have squeezed out like 2 more Kobe style, but he's not making Kobe money, you know? Kobe was getting paid, I think, $49 million.
He was getting paid a ridiculous amount of money.
In fairness, though, I give him shit for that, but he was the only attraction.
And he was the only one on that squad with talent.
Even at almost 40, yeah. But I thought it was cool. We talked about it last week. And then I think the next day it came out. We were talking a little bit last week about who we think are contenders. And there's a lot of stories right now going around, like, who are the contenders. Everyone's actually in the East. I think it's pretty clear cut. It's Celtics. Yeah. But weirdly enough, the top 2 in the West, and this is crazy to me, even as a LeBron fan, are the Lakers and the Warriors. I think that, yeah, there's another retirement.
Sorry.
David West retired, too, today. I think he was 2-time champ, and I think 2-time All-Star, too.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he was awesome. When he played on the Pacers against LeBron, he used to beat the shit out of LeBron.
All right, I didn't mean to go on a rabbit hole. I apologize. But
I forget.
Warriors and the Lakers.
Yeah, Warriors and the Lakers. I thought that was surprising. I mean, yeah, they got LeBron, but they're still not better than, I would say, Houston.
They're not better than Houston.
No.
I mean, the only reason that people are putting that out there is because they watched what LeBron did last year. It was just him,
But
basically.
they dragged him.
I get it.
You know?
I get it. But that's the only reason that's there. I think the Lakers will make the playoffs. I don't think they're going to be a top seed. I think they might squeak in as like the 6th seed.
Our future what would we call it, employee or fellow employees, Stephen A. Smith actually came out and said he picks the Lakers number 3 seed next year. I thought that was crazy.
Someone also picked them to make it to the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, that was Stephen A. too. I thought that was...
I love you, Stephen A., but...
That's crazy, man. I mean, LeBron's great, but getting to the East in the finals is like getting to the second round in the West. Like, It's not, you know...
It's not easy.
It's a whole different animal in the West. I'm excited to see how he adjusts to that because he's going to be playing these big teams, like, way more. So, I don't know. I think the Lakers are going to be good. I would say 7th or 8th seed is what I would put them at. I don't think
they ain't gonna be no 3rd seed. They definitely ain't beating the Warriors for the West. It ain't gonna happen.
No, the Warriors could coast and win just 55 games, and I think they'd take. Maybe Houston gets one again, but it doesn't matter. Speaking of LeBron, Kobe, the great Kobe, came out and he actually defended LeBron because he's getting a lot of flack for joining. You know, the mural kept getting destroyed.
Yeah.
So because of that, Kobe came out and defended LeBron. But he actually did put the pressure on him. He said that if he doesn't win championships, then nobody's going to like him in L.A. L.A.'s built for championships. I don't know if that's so true in the last, 10 years.
It isn't true in the last 10 years.
No. I think...
It was true right up until Kobe played his last game and scored 60 points.
63, I thought.
I thought it was 60.
Oh, was it 60? Okay. I remember watching that.
That's when built for championships went bye-bye.
Yeah. And even with, I think they tried their last ditch effort. Remember when they signed Steve Nash?
Steve Nash, Kobe, and Howard, which was god-awful.
One of the worst. I don't think all three of them ever played together. Because Steve Nash
was always hurt.
Yeah.
And when Steve Nash was out, either Kobe was hurt or Howard. Yeah, I don't think all three of them ever played together.
And they had Dan Antonio. Dan Antonio, the coach, was running Kobe at 36. He was making him do sprints the entire game.
Because he did the triangle or whatever. He didn't play, D'Antoni played a weird defense.
He didn't play defense. It was all offense.
Yeah.
His defense was offense. And that's what actually, in my opinion, caused that Achilles tear. Because most normal people at 36 can't run 48 minutes a game, 82 games a year, you know what I mean? But I thought it was interesting to hear Kobe kind of come to his defense, but also put the pressure on him and say, listen, you got to win. If you don't win, they're not going to love you. Sorry, more on the Lakers. I guess it's a heavily Lakers podcast. Unfortunately. I am excited to see what the Lakers do, though. But everyone's saying, who are the Lakers' next, who's the co-star? You know what I mean? Every good team has a 1-2 punch.
It's going to be Kawhi.
I don't know, man.
Mid-season.
Book it. If Kawhi goes to the Lakers, I'd be excited to see that. Because I've never seen... Kawhi's a good number 2, too, because even when Duncan was over the hill, Duncan was still the leader of that team. Kawhi's not really a leader, I don't think.
Listen, reality is Kawhi is not going to sign an extension with Toronto. It's not going to happen.
No.
He's going to leave next year. So if the Raptors are smart, they trade him at the trade deadline and get something for him. Otherwise, arguably, a couple years ago, number 2 player in the league,
Defensive Player of the Year,
leaves for nothing.
Yeah. If they're smart, too, I agree. They're
smart. They just straight up swap. Ball, Kawhi. Solid.
That would be the heist of the century. I forget. Didn't Kobe and Kwame Brown switch? Wasn't that the big thing? And that was the heist of the century. Yeah, that was it. That would be bad. I think Toronto's going to end up trading with the Celtics because the Celtics have a deeper roster. But I kind of hope not because I like that roster. Moving on to not Lakers. Isaiah Thomas, one of my favorite players, had a rough couple years. He guarantees playoffs for Denver Nuggets.
Yeah, no.
I don't see that happening either.
Who do you have in Denver besides Isaiah Thomas? Can you name one?
I think, what's his name? Is it Nehemiah? Fareed or something. I don't know. But it's nobody. I mean, IT's great, but he's not the original IT. He can't lead them, you know.
No.
Unfortunately, he's 5'9". That's why he's my favorite player. He's like Spud. Remember Spud Webb? He was a little guy. I love that. But 5'9".
Little guy.
Yeah. If Spud Webb was 5'5", I think.
Yeah. Tiny, and he could dunk.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Insane. If you've ever looked up Spud Webb, look him up.
Good.
It's insane.
I'm a huge fan of Isaiah Thomas. I wish him the best. I hope he gets back to his original play.
Yeah.
even if he does come back to his original self, there's not enough talent on that team to get you. And you're in the West.
Yeah, that's tough, man.
Like,
if Carmelo in his prime couldn't do it, I don't think Isaiah.
it's a
Because
perfect segue. Can we talk
it
about
is
that piece of shit?
actually, it's actually dead on
Perfect.
So, Carmelo obviously signed with Houston.
Ugh.
I've had many tangents about Carmelo.
Houston, you idiot.
But the seriously, way to ruin a great offense. But the debate now, which I find funny, is Carmelo Hall of Fame worthy?
No.
Absolutely not, in my opinion.
Nope.
I think he gets in. I don't think he's worthy. I think his name is more popular than his play.
Yep.
Because it's a unique name, Carmelo Anthony. It sounds like almost like a superhero.
Sounds
you know
like
what
a
I mean?
candy bar, personally.
It does.
Carmelo.
But
It is
in-
a candy bar. Just saying.
I've always liked the name Carmelo. I just, But anyway, I just don't think his play backs it up.
Nope.
I don't think he's ever been a leader. I think he's been a very selfish scorer. I think people who compare him to Kobe have no idea what they're talking about. Because I'll give Kobe shit for maybe he didn't have that many assists, but Kobe knew how to win games. Therefore, like, he won with Shaq, he won with Bynum, he won with Gasol. He won because he trusted those players. Carmelo never trusted a player a day in his life.
No.
Carmelo trusts his own isolation game, which is obsolete and has been for the last 7 years. But I think he does get in because he's a member of that famed 03 class. What do we...
Hang on.
Oh, God.
I'll take care of the comments.
Oh, God.
If they come in.
But yeah, I don't think he's worthy. I saw red when I saw that.
No, listen, the fact that all he can do is offense, and in his prime, he was decent at offense. Now, there's...
Horrible.
What is he shooting, 30%?
I think
and
less than that.
He plays no defense. He's going to make Harden look like a defensive player.
It's true. It really
It's
is.
facts. Like, the man doesn't play defense. He doesn't care about defense. I can't tell you how many times I've watched a game with Carmelo, and a guy runs the paint, and Carmelo basically just kind of steps aside and says,
Yeah, go for it. Try the layup. Yeah, Carmelo has never been a defensive player. He's never been a team player. But I do think he'll get in, but not for the right reasons. I think he'll get in because he's friends with LeBron and he was in that class and all that shit. I don't think he'll be in for the right reasons.
yeah.
Anything else for NBA? That's pretty much all the basics. We're just kind of in a lull right now. A lot of trades,
Yep.
so eventually it'll be happening. But,
Yep.
everyone's getting prepped for the regular season. A little bit of MMA news. I was hoping T-Mac would be here for this. But even, you remember Liddell,
Yep.
Chuck Liddell, the
Yeah,
original.
he came back out of retirement.
Yes,
He's fighting.
He's fighting. Not
Iceman?
Yes, he's coming
Dude,
back.
his over-the-top punch and the spin punch, dude.
His orangutan
UFC
punch.
killed it.
Yeah, he was the only reason I
Dirty.
got into UFC. I think a lot of people can say that. He was
Yeah.
the first superstar.
He was. Like,
100%.
you thought of
Yeah.
UFC,
Well,
at least I thought
But
Chuck
also
Liddell.
you got, like, Shamrock. I mean, if you're talking the oldies.
Yeah.
You got Tito Ortiz. They're the ones that started, that really got the brand going.
That's actually who he's fighting for the third time. He's fighting Tito. Chuck has beat him both times. TKO'd him both times.
I want to watch it.
I'll watch it, depending on the price, but I kind of don't want to see it because if Liddell loses, that's going to crush me. Excuse me, Liddell's last fight in the UFC, he was knocked out by a guy with a broken arm, and it was really hard to recover because that was one of my heroes. Like, I had the Liddell haircut when I was a kid and shit. Like, so we'll see. I mean,
I had it too.
yeah, I mean, I think a lot of us did, but I think he's like 44. He's just up there. I think his chin went. It happens to everyone. I'm scared because Ortiz is a wrestler, and I don't know. Hopefully Liddell just destroys him.
We'll see.
We will see. That's part of the fun part in fighting. Someone will pay you to fight anywhere. That's how R.I.P. Kimbo, he fought, for Bellator. And what was the other guy's name? It's like Mr. 3000 or something. I can't remember. They had a fight, and it was if you ever looked that fight up, worst fight you've ever seen. And the one guy had like 6 heart attacks during the fight.
Jesus.
Yeah, and he ended up being sent
Was
to
that
the
like before there was actual weight classes?
No, this was actually like 2 years ago.
Oh.
Yeah, that was.
I remember the UFC back in the day, like, it didn't have weight classes. You could have, like,
Yeah.
tiny, scrawny 140 versus, like, 300.
Yeah, that's what made Gracie so famous because he would fight like 300-pound monsters. And like, what was great about that old UFC is like it'd be NFL fight. Herschel Walker did it and shit. Like,
Herschel Walker, man.
yeah, there's a throwback.
Right?
But
Damn
yeah,
it.
People always say, I wonder if UFC will ever get back to no weight class barbarian
Absolutely
shit.
not.
No, it won't work.
Especially in today's day and age, absolutely not.
No. Back then was brutal. I'll never forget watching a fight and the guy literally ripped out someone else's entire ponytail. And I remember I had a ponytail at the time and I screamed. I was like, ah! My God. I can't even imagine the pain.
I remember watching someone's ear get bit off.
Tyson? Yeah, I actually was just reading about Tyson. I didn't do a lot of research on him, and he came up in WWE. And I didn't know that he was fined or something like $5 or $6 million back then for that.
Oh, yeah.
And he was suspended for like a
Crazy.
year.
Yeah, that was crazy.
So Sean Ledwith has a little shout out to Steve.
Here we go.
It's gonna be about the Bucks.
Couldn't Steve find a better jersey to wear?
I'm sorry, it was all out of.
He goes, I can't even name one player on the Buccaneers.
Oh my God, what's his team?
Probably the Bills.
Probably the Bills. There
Oh
you go.
yeah, you got a lot to talk about,
Yeah,
Sean.
the O-line. Don't worry. Just stick around, Sean. We're going to fucking get into the Bills later.
Yeah, stick around, Sean. We're gonna be talking about that. Don't worry.
Look, back to UFC.
Yeah, the last thing I want to talk about, of course, is McGregor. His fight's
Wait,
coming up.
Can't fucking wait.
That one's going to be amazing. Him versus
We
Khabib.
just gotta figure out if we're doing it here or your place.
Yeah, probably. I would think here because we're going to have a bunch more people.
Yep.
And I mean, there's just like a 65-inch TV. right
Yeah,
there,
that's
He's got a pretty big TV now, though.
Yeah, mine's 65 now.
See?
I think it's actually the same
I
one,
think,
except
did you get the Vizio?
no, it's LG.
Fuck you.
But anyway,
was cheap.
that
So
fight,
just as well.
that fight, I'm super excited for.
Yep.
But Mayweather,
Can't wait to watch Khabib knock the fuck out of McGregor.
Khabib is not knocking him out.
Absolutely not.
The only way Khabib wins.
Shout out,
that,
Matt. That was for you, big guy.
Grego. Grego actually was just talking to me. He wants to come on the podcast before that fight and talk it. So
That's fine.
it'd be
I'll
really
even
cool.
sit out and just watch you guys just go at it.
It would be a lot of arguing.
Oh my god.
But I thought it was cool. Mayweather came out and was like, McGregor's a warrior, watch out Khabib. And then McGregor and McGregor style was like, why don't you shut your old ass up and sit down, you piece of shit. Like, he was getting a compliment and he won't even take it. I love McGregor. I think he's a genius
I like
businessman.
McGregor too. I just think Khabib's gonna do his thing, and McGregor's gonna try and go in and take Khabib out, and Khabib's just gonna keep throwing those blows. And I don't think it'll be a knockout. I just like messing with you, but I think Khabib's gonna win in decision.
I mean, it's
Greg's gonna fuck his day up.
it's classic UFC, man. It really, it's an amazing wrestler versus an amazing striker. Like, this is what you pay for.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So which one's better?
We'll pay
If-
for it.
You know, if Khabib's wrestling is better, obviously McGregor's in trouble. But if McGregor can avoid that takedown, Khabib's getting destroyed. Because Khabib's been rocked before. Like, that has happened. You can watch 3 different fights, and he's been rocked. He's not good at getting hit in the face. Nobody in that division hits like Conor. And everyone thought it was bullshit until he knocked out the champ in 2 rounds and just decimated him. And that dude had an iron chin. Eddie Alvarez was no joke. And even Nate came out and said he hits hard, and Nate was 195 pounds. So
Nate Diaz hits hard.
yeah. So
Nate Diaz hits hard.
McGregor, I'm telling you, Khabib's never been hit by someone like McGregor. McGregor's striking is insane. It's just weird.
What day
It's
is that fight?
October 16th,
16th.
I think. Yep. So that's coming up.
Book it.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's already been booked.
Book it.
That's going to be a good one.
I think I'm off that day.
I will be here regardless.
Yes.
Amanda, if you're watching.
If not, I think I'm already getting sick.
Use one of my 28. All right, NFL talk.
Let's do it. Let's start with the breaking news, and I'm just gonna say the man deserves it.
All right.
I understand. I get it. I get it.
This broke my heart. I was at work when this happened, and I looked down, and I was hoping it said Rodgers broke his collarbone. He's out for 7 years. It's not what
That's a
happened.
pretty, really bad break.
It's not. It's not what happened. Rodgers signs a $134 million 4-year deal, $100 million guaranteed.
Yep.
Talk about faith, and he earned it. I agree 100%. He earned
I was
it.
gonna say, how are you not faith?
I'm
Like
not-
the man has more Hail Mary wins than
I know. I get it, and that's why he does deserve
It's
$100 mil.
against your team every time.
I know.
But-
It's funny in this in the comment section or in the title. I said the Lion Killing record-making deal because this means Detroit's not winning that division for 4 years at least. I'm not sure what Rodgers' age is, but I'm sure he'll sign another one.
Yeah.
But still, 134 mil. It's well deserved. It couldn't go to, in my opinion, a better quarterback. He's number 2. I would put Brady
Brady,
and
Rodgers. That's how I do it too.
And honestly, if you stacked up their skills, I would put Rodgers higher than Brady, but Brady's got those rings.
Yep.
So you can't, you know what I mean?
Brady can do this.
Yeah, exactly. So,
The memes on Roger were on.
oh my God, did you see him in the cowboy
Outfit with a mustache?
You feel where he's just laying on his back in the field.
Yeah.
There's just money dropping on him.
Oh yeah, I saw that one too.
I mean, it's incredible. I mean, 134 mil. That's and the fact that he's getting 100 mil guaranteed means he's getting like literally. I imagine like a Price is Right $80 million giant check. Like, here you go. It's crazy.
He got an $80 million just for signing.
Yeah.
$80 million just to put his John Hancock on a piece of paper.
It's insane.
So is this up there with one of the highest?
This is the highest
ever.
This is
The highest ever.
I'm sorry.
It is the highest. I think Matt Ryan had the last one.
Matt Ryan was the next. It was like
His was-
96.
Yeah, but his was like 64 mil
64
guaranteed.
mil. Yeah, this is 100 mil.
100 mil guaranteed, then 34 mil, and then there's incentives
We should
too.
start shouting out Rodgers.
Rodgers, I hate him. He is the Lion Killer, but the dude's earned it. And plus, I love watching him play. Like, when he gets hurt, I'm bummed. Yeah, like, we might win the division, but it's not the same. You know what I mean? Like, if we ever make it to a bowl, I want to go through Green Bay. Because it'd be like if the Bills made it to a bowl. I know.
Sorry, Sean.
But if the Bills made it to a bowl, I would think they'd want to go through Brady.
That sounds to be in the same fairy tale.
Yeah,
Bills want to
yeah.
make it to a bowl. They go out to the
Lions
mud
make it
lot.
to a
The
bowl, yeah.
fans have a bunch of bowls out there. You're good.
The irony is the Bills and Detroit are very similar. Bills are actually technically
Wait,
more
what did you
successful.
say?
They're
They're
similar.
very similar
If you look at
To
their
who?
divisions,
To
they
who?
have no shot.
to the Bills.
No, Detroit to the Bills.
So
that
every
to
time you
yourself,
call
bro.
out the Bills and say
Bro,
they're garbage,
division
you're like,
wise.
but they're similar to the
Bro, don't
Lions.
Their
do that
fan
to
base
yourself.
is very different, but the structure of those divisions, they both have top tier Hall of Fame quarterbacks stopping them from ever progressing. And until they're gone, they're not going to progress.
All right, I see what you're saying there.
Yeah.
You're stuck until
The struggle's real. The struggle's
Rodgers
real.
retires. Bills fans are stuck till
To
Brady
Brady.
retires.
Fortunately for Bills, Brady's probably way
Although
closer.
that Sam Darnold ain't no joke. We'll see what happens.
Oh, that's perfect. What a good segue.
Well, okay, I guess we'll go there.
No, do you have anything else to add about Rodgers?
No, we went from him getting paid. I figured we'd go to OBJ getting paid.
Well, yeah, that's actually a better segue. And then we'll go into,
Yeah.
don't let me forget Jets.
Yeah.
So, yeah, OBJ got paid, I think it was last week at this
Yes.
point. What was it?
It was like 96
Biggest wide receiving contract.
biggest wide receiver contract ever.
I think $95 million extension. 5 years, I believe. He absolutely deserves it. We talked about this a few months ago. There was no reason not to pay him because he is the reason people are going to buy tickets. You want to see those insane circus catches. You even kind of want to see those temper tantrums. You want to see that personality. You want to see him fight. He fell off, but remember Norman? I don't even know where he plays anymore. But he had those big fights with him on the field.
Oh, Josh Norman plays
Yes.
for the Redskins.
Okay, so he plays
Yes.
him twice.
Yep.
So that's what you're paying for. He earned it. I don't think he's the best receiver in the league.
Perfect segue.
I think it's AB.
Because I'm not taking anything away from OBJ. He's a great talent. He's a top 5 receiver
Phenomenal
in the league,
talent.
for sure. But he's a baby. He gets pissy. All you gotta do is get under his skin, and he's done. You know what's gonna get under your skin? When Antonio Bryant now gets his contract, and it's more than yours.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be pissed off.
Yeah, Brown, I think, deserves it.
He does.
That's the thing. The OBJ contract is crazy because obviously they paid OBJ. It's kind of a risk because he is a prima donna. He might have off-field. It's a risk.
Yes.
But
Might have off field.
Yeah, he has off-field
that's
problems.
better.
So we'll see where it goes.
Yep.
But the big thing that I took from this is these two massive contracts. And the league is changing. It's obviously making more money, but it seems like the best players are just getting almost like LeBron, Kobe treatment where they get these huge contracts. I think it's about time that's happened, though.
Yeah.
I mean, like the Lions paid Stafford a shit ton of money. That at the time was the biggest QB contract. It's not anymore, but at the time he earned that. If you're the number one player on that team, you're the reason people buy tickets. You deserve some of that money. Period. Like JJ, they should give him a $90 million check right now because how many years did people just pay to see Watt? They weren't going to win. You just see Watt be Watt.
Get 21 sacks in a season because, I mean, that's completely heard of.
Exactly. It's kind of interesting. These giant contracts make you sit back and go, okay, maybe it's becoming more like the NBA where they really pay their talent, which they should. NBA should be paid less than NFL, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
NBA, there's no life-threatening injuries.
Yeah.
There's no CTE in the NBA. In the NFL, you kill yourself like every hit.
So when's hockey players' salary get boosted?
Well, I actually...
That's what I'm asking.
It's funny you brought that up because I actually got into it on Instagram, which is Sticky Unleashed on Instagram.
Plug yourself.
Shameless
Good for
plug.
you.
I got into it with someone because someone posted a thing that said NHL is just a sport that white people made to be good at.
Wow.
And I got into it with this guy because I'm like, one, that's a very simplistic and reverse racism. That's exactly what it is. And I said, I'm like, NHL players don't get paid as much because there's not as much viewership because they don't focus that much on marketing. That's not like they're any less athletes. They're still
There's
just
a
as
lot of
athletic.
black people that really good black people.
Yeah, like it's not. And
I
he.
don't think it's a race thing. But anyway.
But he tried to make it a race thing, and then also tried to kind of degrade NHL, and it kind of makes you think like they make a shit ton of money. Like
Oh, yeah.
it's $1 billion industry. So why they don't get paid, I have no idea. I don't know if they've ever done an NHL lockout like they've done in the NBA and NFL, but maybe that's something they should look at because
I don't know.
they
I feel
put
like-
their lives to the line too.
Have you ever encountered, like, I don't know, I feel like when you encounter a hockey player, they're just completely different personality than almost any other sport player. Like, not meaning, like, just for the love of the game.
There's a lot more passion.
Yeah.
You have to
Like,
have passion.
You meet a hockey player and you're like, holy fuck, this guy likes hockey.
Yeah.
Like, you meet a football player, it's like, yeah, he loves playing football, but like, alright, he was also getting paid $80 million to do it.
Yeah.
But like, this guy would do it for free, probably.
Yeah,
You know?
and there's a lot. I've watched documentaries, ones you've suggested, and NHL players, their passion it bleeds through so much because you have to have that passion because they're not getting unless you're like maybe 10 players. I can't even name 10. I'm not a huge hockey fan, but I can't even name 10. And I read all the mainstream shit that make that much money. They make a lot compared to us, but compared to other sports, they don't make shit. And it's crazy because they have just as much CTE. It doesn't
Might have more because they get rocked a lot.
It doesn't get registered that way because it's like under the radar, but it's something that I hope it does bleed into it. If the NFL is finally saying, no, our players deserve more and their salaries are going up, maybe the other leagues start following suit, and I think that's fair. So we might be seeing something happen here because the NBA started doing huge contracts in the 2000s, maybe slowly, but the NFL and the NHL.
My boy Stamkos got a huge contract a couple years ago.
I mean,
Huge.
Evans, I'm sure he got a big one, right? He signed an extension a
With the
year
Bucks?
ago. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
the
talking
Evans.
about hockey.
Oh, okay.
Stamkos is for the Lightning.
Gotcha. Yeah, I have no idea as far as that goes. I just know the stats as
I'm
far
with you.
as
Like I
money
can,
and stuff
I can
goes.
name literally a couple players outside of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Like that's just.
And I
how it
think
is.
that's a lot of that is it's not a lack of fan base. It's a lack of like they don't have the same marketing team
No.
as the NBA and the NFL because those are just pushed. That's America.
Yeah.
Literally, if you go to other countries and you ask what do you think of when you think of America, almost all of them say, unless they'll say like American football or NBA. You know what I mean? That's why they're like idolized over there. You don't hear NHL. That's just because they don't push for that.
So, we all know Sidney Crosby,
Yes.
okay?
hate him.
Oh, obviously. Hate the Penguins.
He's had a
hate
ton of
Sidney Crosby.
concussions too.
He had a concussion. He was
Phenomenal
out for a
hockey
year
player,
because
but
of
he's a
it.
little
Yeah.
bitch, okay? Phenomenal hockey player, but can't take a hit, and he's a cheap shots. Anyway, besides the point. Crosby remains the NHL most marketable player with off-ice income nearly $5 million. So obviously you have your season, you have your during season money, your off-season money. So he makes $5 million, and then during season it's like jumps up to blah 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 blah. Like his base salary this season was $832,000,
which is nothing.
That's
absolutely nothing.
Yeah, it's
Like, come on.
and it's mind blowing because I really think it's just a lack of people understanding it. Like I think if they pushed it and marketed it more, people would be able to sit down and watch Because, like, it's very regional. Like, growing up around here, you have to search for a hockey fan because there's not...
Canada, it's huge.
Yes. And that's...
Hockey night in Canada.
Yeah.
It's a show on TV.
And it's...
But you come down here and it's just not relevant. It's not big.
I think a lot of it, in my opinion, is the American public, and I'm not dissing them, but it's a very... You got to give them something simple. Yeah. Basketball, put ball in hoop, points. Simple. Football, run to one side of the field, points.
Why do you think soccer hasn't made it huge in the U.S.? It's kind of more of a complex sport.
There's
rules. It's all sides. It's a bigger field. It takes longer.
Yeah.
It's a long
I'd rather
game.
watch tennis than soccer.
Well, again, simple. But I think that's the thing about hockey, is that it's a more complex game, and you have to appreciate what they're doing. Anyone can watch LeBron do a 360 dunk and be impressed, because most people can't do that. But when you see people dribbling a hockey puck, unless you've tried to do it, it doesn't look that hard.
Dribbling a hockey puck?
Well, yeah, there you go. What is it? What would you call it?
Dangles, bro.
Dangles?
Straight dangles.
Is that what it's called?
I think Freddie was here today.
I don't fucking know. But that's my... hopefully we're seeing a transition. That was the whole point, is that we're seeing a transition in these leagues, finally paying these people. And yeah, do they need millions? No. But do they deserve it? Yes. They earn it, I should say. But a little bit more on NFL. There was a cool article that I really liked. They were talking about some young teams that have like potential to steal divisions and stuff like that. Funny enough, the Bills were in it. Yeah, they were in it but this was posted 2 preseason games ago. Now they're not, because their offensive line is absolutely horrendous.
And their secondary is, like, gone to shit.
Yes.
Like, listen, we all know we pick on the Bills here. Like, I get it. Speaking of, I get it.
It's our thing.
We're not Bills fans.
Hey,
but
I
will give the Bills props. Their secondary last year was among the top in the league.
Their defense
was nasty.
Got them in the playoffs.
I don't know what the hell happened to you guys on the offseason, but your offensive line went to shit. You don't have an offensive line.
Your offensive line went to shit.
I
walked right in this house and nobody stopped me.
I was talking to someone about the offensive line. Incognito left.
And he lost his shit again. Did you see that?
He did. Incognito lost his shit again. But he left, and oh my God, Eric Woods.
Or Woods.
Woods went down. He's retired. He was the center, I believe.
Yeah, he was the center.
Which is literally and figuratively the heart and soul of the offensive line. Yep. That's a huge loss. So they have reasons. It's not like they just, we have the same squad.
What happened to the secondary? The secondary was top 5 in takeaways.
I think it ties together, because if your O-line is good, then you don't have to stress the offense. They can kind of give you more. We'll see as the season goes on, but I think it does affect the defense secondary, only because they're going to be on the field more, which means they're going to have more chances to get burned. So we'll see. I mean, I'm hoping the defense... I'm not hoping. I don't give a shit. But it would make sense if the defense would start to glue together as the season goes on. But I just thought they were on there. Houston was in there. Detroit was in there, although I don't think we have a single shot in hell. I think
Rodgers is going to be throwing money balls all year.
Rodgers has his money, and he's Rodgers, so he's going to be money.
And they got freaking...
We'll be number 2 and hopefully make the wild card.
And they got Jimmy Graham.
Yeah, they got Graham, but I've never been a huge Graham fan. I've always thought he was like Gronk, except without the talent. He's got the size, but Gronk has that ability to catch the ball and then just drive. Jimmy, when you hit him, he just... So, I'm not a huge Jimmy fan. I don't think that makes or breaks it.
Well, never mind.
But before we move on...
No, we're going to talk about a couple things before we move on.
Well, we got to talk about...
I get it, but I got something on my chest I need to get off, bro.
Get it off, man.
That's why we're here.
Jalen Ramsey.
He's such a troll.
Shut up and play football.
He's Jaguars' defensive corner.
He came out of Florida State. He's a good corner, but this is his 3rd year in the league.
Yeah,
and he already thinks he's the best corner in the world. He's good.
I thought that was Sherman.
Sherman fell off a couple years ago.
But no, Ramsey for some reason has decided to go on social media and just talk shit about everyone in the NFL and how horrible they are.
That's how you move up in the world.
Just look at our shut up and play football. What the amount of trash he's talking What if he comes out and has a horrible year and he's one of the worst corners in the league because of something?
I think it's
You know
kind
how
of
much backlash he's gonna get?
I know, but I don't know if he cares because I think he's kind of doing like a poor man's McGregor, like where people are going to pay to either see him be right or wrong, and it works. That's what Richard Sherman did the same goddamn thing.
Straight villain.
And the villains get paid, man. And Jalen got paid. He's going to get paid. He got paid. He's a great corner, but I think he's just trying to do the norm. What was it? You said it earlier. The guy in the Redskins.
Oh, Norman. Josh Norman.
I think
Somebody not important.
people just emulate. Yeah, he fell off too, but I think that's what happens. People want to be the villain, like Freddie said. So I think he's a piece of shit. I don't think any QB worth their grain and salt really cares what he says.
He came out and said Gronk didn't have talent and that Danny Amendola doesn't have talent. And when you have Tom Brady, that's why.
Yeah, he said that if you put him on that team, he would be an All-Pro, first team All-Pro wide receiver. I thought that was a joke. I also do think that's kind of hedging your bets. If you're a defensive back, you better know how to catch the fucking ball. That's part of it, interception. So I think that's simple. But yeah, fuck Ramsey. I agree.
All right, now you can go. I had to get it off.
Well, with the Bills, they have some problems. They want to see what they can do, especially defensively. The Raiders royally fucked up how they're dealing with Khalil Mack, who's a Buffalo homeborn, homemade. And they're thinking about moving him to the Bills. I don't know what the Bills could trade, but it doesn't sound like Gruden wants to recover that relationship. And if they got Mack, not only would that boost ticket sales because they want to see their home guy, but you just got probably one of, if not the best defensive player in the league. I say go for it. I would throw the kitchen sink at him.
I'd go for him.
Yeah. No, I would toss whatever you could. I don't know if they have much to trade.
No, just trade another first-round pick in like 2000 whatever.
You're going to get more than one first-round pick.
Probably two.
Probably two first-round picks.
Two
first-round picks.
Gruden ain't going to give him up for just a first round. It ain't going to happen.
I
for all the
can't.
Bills fans that are sitting out there listening saying, no, we can get him for a third and a fourth
No.
next year.
They have or
Ain't
may
happening.
not have shared the podcast onto the Bills Mafia website.
There you go.
So
That's going to be fun.
Oh, my
you
God.
know,
Bills suck.
I think that
you guys might get lynched. We'll see what happens. I'll come to your funeral.
I can't stand how Oakland handled the Mac situation.
No, it's
I
horrible.
love Mac. I think Gruden is a piece of shit. He never even called him when he got the. I just think it's a joke. I mean, any coach should talk to your best player. I don't care how big your ego is. Even Belichick would. I said this last podcast. I just don't get it. But I kind of hope the Bills do get it. That would be cool. It would have been cool if they got Gronk too, because he was home, but he never did. I don't think Gronk.
I don't want to see a talent like Khalil go waste in Buffalo.
Well, he's wasted now. He's not even going to play because they won't pay him. So.
He's going to end up in Green Bay, and then you're going to have to deal with him.
Oh my God, that would be devastating. Stafford wouldn't make it out of the game 5. But that'd be cool. If I was a Bills fan, I'd be fucking tweeting the shit out of Oakland and give us Khalil. But speaking of the Jets, well, not speaking of the Jets, but
Speaking of the Saints now.
Fucking Bridgewater got traded to the Saints.
Yeah.
And I don't really care about that because Bridgewater's irrelevant. The part I love in this video of this is he got traded while on the bus en route to training camp to the Jets, and they kicked him off the bus as soon as he got traded.
Are you serious?
They stopped the bus and said, you have to get off, you're not on our team anymore.
What?
How fucked up is that?
I did not see that.
There's a video of it, and it's
horrible.
It's really sad, actually, because he's like, yeah, you're going to the Saints, which he's never going to play because Breeze is an animal and never gets hurt. But you're going to the Saints. Oh, by the way, get off our bus. That's so petty.
How do you got some balls.
Especially when you're the Jets. Like, it's not, if you're the Patriots, okay, you can get away with it because Belichick's a dick. But you're the Jets. You have nobody. Like, you're not even on the up and coming. So, like, you suck in every way, and you have the balls to kick him off. And it's not even like he was like, trade me. They just management traded him, called him and said, we traded you, get off the bus.
That's horrible.
Horrible. I don't like the Jets, but I really don't like them now. I'm not even a Bridgewater fan. That's just a piece of shit move to do to anyone, not even a football player.
That's horrible.
Garrett from the Browns,
Yeah.
Myles Garrett, everyone's picking him to be Defensive Player of the Year. I think that's a decent pick. I mean, their offense is going to be so good, in my opinion. even with Tyrod, I think that they're going to be able to score enough to
Tyrod
where
ain't starting.
I think he's going to end up playing. I don't think he's starting, but I think he ends up playing. I still say the Bills should have kept Tyrod. I thought that was a bad move, but, the Bills wouldn't commit to his play style. But I like Miles. I think he's great. I think his first play ever, he got a sack, so how cool is that?
Yeah, I mean,
I hope he is.
I hope Watt gets it.
Oh, that'd be
Watt gets back to his old self.
That would be
stays
awesome.
Injury free.
I agree with that. I guess my heart wants Watt, but my brain would be like, Miles, that's pretty cool. Especially because the Browns. I always root for them. I don't know. Underdog. To not the underdogs, the Rams. They put together one of the greatest defensive lines ever seen.
Yeah.
They're calling it the Dream Team. I think it's accurate.
Oh, absolutely.
They're going to be absolutely nasty.
My pick for the Super Bowl.
It's a solid pick. A lot of people, there's a big rivalry right now between LeBron went to the Lakers. That's obviously L.A. It's the L.A. Rams. The Rams want to take that shine away from LeBron and say, we're the team, not the Lakers. Not going to happen. L.A. is a LeBron town, or not a LeBron, a Lakers town. But what do you think? You think they're going to succeed? Or do you think they're going to be a flop? Because chemistry is big, man.
It all depends on Goff. If Goff comes out, Goff now at this point with their defense, all he has to do is not screw up.
Yeah, don't turn the ball
That's
over.
pretty much it.
He should just watch Alex Smith.
He's literally the Peyton Manning of the Denver Broncos.
Yes, at the end of his career.
You get yourself the lead. All you got to do, I don't care if it's by 3. That defense should lock down and you win.
I'm going to play devil's advocate, and I'm going to say it's going to fail. And the reason I think it's going to fail is because they're going to have these unreachable expectations, and you have Ndamukong Suh, and I don't think he plays well with others.
Yeah, let's just give him a minute in time. He's going to step on a quarterback's chest and get kicked out of the game.
Someone's ego is going to fuck up. I don't know. I just think it's too good to be true. And I think it might fuck the Rams over down the road because they paid a lot of money for this line.
They paid a crap ton of money.
So if it doesn't work out, they shot themselves in the foot for the next couple of years. I don't think it's going to work. I think chemistry is huge, and I don't know if Ndamukong Suh has ever had chemistry. I think he's always just been the alpha, but he's not going to be the alpha on that line.
Nope. That's Donald.
Yeah.
When they finally sign him and he comes back.
Yeah. I think it's going to fail. That's my opinion. We were talking about the Jets earlier. Yep. Cousins left $90 million on the table not to play for the Jets. He didn't want to play with the Jets so badly, he turned down $90 million. And I'm not sure what he got with Minnesota, but I know it's not $90 million. I think that's mind-blowing. I think he should have taken it. I don't care if you're going to lose. I don't know if he's ever going to get a contract that big.
No.
So you got to take that. But,
whatever. See what he does in Minnesota.
Part of the cockiness. And
he's hoping he can get more out of it.
He's not. I mean, that's a ridiculous. 90 mil is what? If only 44 mils short than Rodgers. And he's not even close to Rodgers.
Not even close. He's a... I'll give him a second-tier quarterback. He's definitely not a first-tier quarterback.
Yeah, he's a starter for sure.
Yeah.
But he's a starter for like 20 of the worst teams.
Yes.
He's not a starter compared to the Brady's, the Breeze,
Negative.
But in the last subject on the NFL before we hop into WWE is Flacco. I think his time is done. I think he gets replaced this season. I think Baltimore is going to go into a rebuild mode. I think they held on too long to those old guys.
Suggs is still playing. He's
playing.
like 67.
He's still confident he can produce. I just think it's dumb. I get it. He's a perennial Ravens, but he's no Ray Lewis. Like, Ray Lewis literally, drove them to the Super Bowl in 2003 and, gave him that ring with his heart and soul. Was it 2000? Sorry.
Versus the Giants.
Suggs never did that. He's great. He's going to go down in Hall of Fame, and he's going to be an all-time great Raven. But I wouldn't have kept him. I would have said, listen, that 10 mil could go to someone newer and better and fresher. But I do think Flacco's time is done. I think he got really lucky with that huge contract he got a few years ago, and I think the Ravens are still paying for it. I don't think Flacco was ever a first tier. And that might be an argument, but I don't. I think he's got a hell of an arm, but I don't think he's that great. I think he's been protected by the Ravens.
Yeah.
It's my opinion. But moving on from the NFL, we'll do a little bit of WWE.
Brock Lesnar's gone. I know
Brock-
we already talked about this, but I'm just excited about
Brock Lesnar is still gone. Roman is still the champ.
it. He'll be the champ until it looks like from Monday night
Maybe to Mania.
to at least Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. The Shield obviously returns.
Told you.
Got a beat down from Braun went heel. Braun turned heel, joined McIntyre and Dolph. I mean, the move makes sense, I guess. You need to even the numbers. But at the same time, I don't like... Braun as a heel, for me, I like it, but I don't think it makes a lot of sense. He was the top babyface.
Yeah, he's the biggest babyface.
So I think it would have made more sense to turn
He
the...
might not be a heel. Let's face it, everyone hates Roman Reigns
Yeah.
right now. They hate him. And he's only going to get bigger because he betrayed Roman Reigns.
Yeah. I mean, Vince is obviously looks at Braun as heel and Roman baby, but the WWE community, the universe doesn't. No, Roman is a weird tweener, and Braun is over as hell. So,
Yep.
I love that the Shield is back. It doesn't look like they're breaking up anytime soon, at least until after the Down Under fight.
What did I say?
You said the Shield were going to stick around for a while.
But stoop!
Survivor Series is probably going to have the Shield there at some point. This is my prediction. I think the Shield break up at Rumble, and we Mania, we get a three-way.
Triple Shield match for the title.
I would love that.
That would be amazing.
Yeah,
that'd be the best way for the Shield to break up.
Yes.
I would. I'm gonna be real with you. When the Shield broke up the first time, I couldn't watch wrestling for like a month. I was in my corner shaking in the dark.
It was hard.
It was rough.
And it wasn't time either. They did it way too soon.
Yeah. So, but if they break up again, I'm gonna be sad because I love the Shield. I love it. It's great. But to see Seth, Dean, and Roman go at it for the title at Mania, and they should do it like a ladder match. Like have it hanging up, and the first one up, not a pinfall.
Yeah.
First one to grab it wins the title.
And I think that's what they should do. I don't think Braun goes over at Hell in a Cell.
No.
I think somebody screws him and he goes on a different... I don't think Braun's ready for that title.
I think the Shield shows up, climbs over the cage, into the ring, and they just destroy Braun in the match. Braun wins from DQ, but you don't get the title.
Well, it's in Hell in a Cell, so there's no DQ.
Oh, that's right.
So they can do
Shield's
whatever.
going to show up.
Yeah, for sure. That's what they're
They're
building
either going to
to.
be under the ring, or they're going to come out, they're going to climb into that
Or
ring.
they're going to do they cut the bolts
Yes.
and they lock themselves in, you know. I definitely think Roman wins it. Maybe we see Roman with a full-blown heel turn with the Shield. I would do it because they wouldn't really be heels. People would still cheer him.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But let him just run crazy all over WWE. Have him show up on SmackDown.
I want them to do what they did when they were first out in 2013.
Yeah.
When they debuted. They literally didn't care. They told everyone, this is our yard, this is what we do. We're going to do what we want.
Yeah.
And if you don't like that, we'll beat the piss out of you.
Yeah.
That's what they need to do. They need to just... the old school walking around with a video camera in the back hallways, beating the hell, Hounds of Justice.
Yes.
Going over to SmackDown. That's what I want to see. I'm hoping they do that. I don't know if they will because it's kind of old. But that would be cool.
I think it would too. I mean, why not? Why even stop it? Have them invade SmackDown. Have them invade NXT. Have them just be... You don't know what they are. Yeah, be the Shield.
You never know what they're going to do. You never know where they're going to show up.
What I want to see Seth lose the title, and then I want to see both Dean and Seth get the tag team ones back, and that way everyone has a belt.
Title.
And they could be almost like the Undisputed, and then bam, that leads up. You have an Undisputed match. I mean, there's money.
Just got goosebumps.
The Undisputed versus the Shield, Royal Rumble, and then that's how Dean does a betrayal, and then bam, there's so much you could do. But I love it.
Just call it Vince, but let us write.
Yeah, let us
write.
I mean, Vince has done a lot of good things lately, finally. But
he got back on his medicine.
I guess so. But he's figured something out. But I like it. I like Roman. The belt being there seems more important to watch now. I love
because you get to see it.
Seth for Kevin Owens was a 5-star match.
Always is.
It was incredible. Owens is so good. Obviously, Seth is
quit.
good. Owens quitting, I mean, it bums me. I'm a huge KO fan. But I hope that it freshens. If he does come back, which Steve's pretty sure
He's
will.
coming back, and I'm telling you right now, mark it on the calendar. Swiss Army Nerds Sports Special, August 30th. Co-host, Stephen Cockerham. Kevin Owens is going to come back. He's going to be out for a couple weeks. Who knows? He's probably got something going on, family, whatever. He's going to be out for a couple weeks. He comes back. Paul Heyman's his guy.
What I want him to have something to do with that finish in Hell in a Cell. I want the Shield thing. I do. But how great would it be he comes back with Heyman and he fucks over Braun? I would love that because the old Kevin Owens is great where it was just vicious and this animal heel. I want that back. So I don't like comedy Kevin Owens. He's funny, but I don't want him to be funny. There's enough funny. That's what Breezango and all that shit's for. B-Team. I don't need that. I want Owens in that match.
Like when Owens came out for the U.S. Challenge versus John Cena.
That Owens was phenomenal, and I want that one to come back. And I don't know. I wouldn't have been mad if he won the Intercontinental, but now that they're doing this story, it makes sense. But Seth doesn't need a belt. He's so over. He probably is the top babyface.
He definitely is the top babyface. Who else could you think is the top babyface?
In WWE, I mean, maybe AJ. But even AJ, still, I don't think AJ's... That's Seth.
No,
Seth,
AJ gets a big pop, but that burn it down, I don't care where you are.
Becky Lynch
huge.
is pretty over. Braun.
Yeah, because she finally went heel.
Yeah, which I don't think it's going to take. I think they basically just made a female Roman. You're going to have some people boo him, some people cheer her, but she's going to get huge reactions, which I love. I'm okay with the tweener roles. I don't need him to be heel or baby. Let me decide that. But I like where it's going. I like WWE right now. Brock being gone is fantastic. Already people are lining up and it's great. I mean, Finn's going to start to get a little bit of a push.
That was amazing when Roman came out the day after SummerSlam and gave Finn a chance.
I'm kind of bummed that they didn't save it. I'm hoping he comes back into the title picture. I think they just have to get Braun out of the way. Because everyone's going to be waiting for him to cash that thing. And I just don't... I have no interest in Braun.
It's kind of like you don't know, but behind the scenes, Vince basically just gave the reins to Triple H and said, here, you run this for a little bit. Because the Revival, oh my God, they're back in the title. They're in the title picture for like the first time.
And they're so good. The Revival's so good because they're a team. When you watch them work, you're like, wow, it's almost like they do read each other's minds.
Fun fact, they're the only NXT two-time champs.
Yeah, and they were that good then. So I'm glad they're finally getting a push. B-Team's funny. They don't need the belt. I think it tarnishes it.
I believe Monday night they have a title shot.
Which hopefully
I think they win it.
I think so too. I think you're right. I think maybe Triple H is finally taking the reins.
Triple H, I wouldn't say he's got 100%, but I feel like just the way it's been going, either Vince hit his head and came back to reality, or he told Triple H, listen, this is too much for me. I need you to take some of this off my load. Like, please help me out type deal.
And he's training. He's going to the XFL soon, so
yes.
I like where it's going. I have no complaints. To bring back the Shield is genius. It makes Roman look great, makes Seth look great, and it gives Dean relevancy because he needs something.
Dean scares me because every time he comes out, it's like, what is he gonna do?
I like that. You know what I mean? I like that. There's that fear that he's gonna.
Everyone feels it too, and I think we're working it on purpose because when Seth won at SummerSlam,
he was right.
Dean stood right behind him. I was like, oh,
in the same place.
And then last Monday when he was in the backstage by himself, I think they're playing the crowd because the crowd knows it's coming.
Yeah. But I don't know. I like where it's going. I think that the super thing in Australia, that's going to be as dumb as the Saudi Arabia one. I don't think that's going to mean anything. I think
it's not going to be as dumb because we're going to see the Shield versus
Braun, McIntyre,
and McIntyre. I want to see him go by himself.
Yeah, I think that's happening soon. I mean, so much is coming. Like there's so much storyline that can be made.
Can I just say, I know we're almost done, but I gotta say I completely forgot because when you're not relevant in the WWE, fans don't notice you.
True.
Can I just say that I completely forgot that Drew McIntyre was in Three-Man Band.
Oh my God.
And I was on YouTube watching stuff and I was like, wait a minute, who? And I clicked on it. Like, he's a totally different person. It's like he grew up like 6 feet and then just...
it's like he became a man. Like, he was young though. when he was in 3MB, I think he was like 22. So he was
Go
real
and
young.
look at it. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
He doesn't look anything like him.
The Drew now is like a grown-ass man who's got kids and bills, and he's going to beat your ass. And the Scottish accent makes it even more badass. Like, it just naturally...
I love his accent.
Having that
And
accent...
it's real. It's not fake.
Yeah.
Like, that's a real accent.
I mean, I know this. I want Braun out of the way. We've seen that. I'm excited for the match, but we've seen it. Been there, done that. I want to see Roman McIntyre.
It's going to happen. I want to see McIntyre screw over Dolph. I'm hoping it happens in Australia.
Yeah, that'd be a decent call.
And then Drew gets right into that title picture because Drew versus Rome, Drew versus anyone is going to be good.
Yeah, I think it's time Drew really starts getting packaged as like this badass. And he
Yes.
is. He's a legitimate. So I'm excited to see where it's going. Everything coming up, I'm pumped for.
Yep.
It just seems like we're going somewhere. The only qualm I have is they're not using. They need to reform the club for Balor. Because that would save him so much. Balor Club, if
Versus
you brought
the Shield, too,
versus
would be
Shield,
amazing.
money. That's money. I don't know why they're not doing that. And Balor needs it. He needs that rub.
You
So
could do like a ladder match between like the New Day, the Shield, and Balor Club for the titles.
shit, throw Insanity. Why not? Just do
Ooh,
it.
I forgot about Sanity
you could-
because they're so not relevant.
I know, and that's SmackDown's issue. I think SmackDown's too small of a show.
It is. Sanity hasn't won a match yet,
No. So
which
I
is
don't.
depressing.
I'm interested to see where the stories are going, but after a subpar SummerSlam, I'm pretty excited. And a lot of that has to do with they kind of hit the reset button. Brock's gone. Roman's the guy. Let's build around him. I'm not even at the point where if Roman loses it, I'm going to be that mad because at least we have the title there. At least someone's going to have it, and I'm excited for matches again. Roman doesn't need the title. He needed it to get it off of Brock because that was always
That was the plan.
Yeah.
They got him off, so now if Roman loses it, it's whatever. At least we have a fighting chance.
Exactly. So I'm excited to where it's going. I think a lot of good things. Reforming the Shield is great. You called it. I'm glad you were right because it does seem better. If Dean went heel, I don't know where he would have went. So I don't think it's ready yet.
It's not yet. It's going to happen.
It's gonna
be Dean.
Yeah.
They
It's
ain't
his
gonna do it
turn.
to Seth. Seth's way over.
I mean, if you want, if I was writing, it wouldn't be Dean. It would be Roman because Roman as a heel would get like Austin level heat. Like Roman already gets booed. Like half the crowd boos him. Imagine if the other half of those turned into boos. It would be deafening. Like Tommaso Ciampa, it would be that loud. So
imagine if it was Seth again. What would happen? He's so over. Like what I
don't know if they would take it. I think he's so good in the ring now. It's just it wouldn't work. Like it would work with Roman because his style is slow and methodical.
Yeah.
Or Dean too, but it wouldn't work with Seth. He's too acrobatic and he's too talented. You can't put on 5-star matches and get booed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Same with AJ. Like when AJ went heel, it didn't work because people loved him because he was fine with WWE. So, but I'm excited to say the least.
So am I.
There's really not a ton of other news. I mean,
No, that's pretty much it.
yeah, that's pretty much the bulk of it, which I'm excited for. It's about time. We went through a rough little bit there,
It was not fun.
but I think Hell in a Cell is going to kick ass.
I think it's gonna be good.
I'm excited to see Jeff Hardy versus Orton in a Hell in a Cell. He's never had that match, so I'm very curious to see.
$20 says
He jumps
does
off
a
the top.
swanton off the top.
Dude, I'm terrified. I know he's gonna do that.
Yeah.
But he's 40. I don't want to see that.
Look at Shane McMahon.
I know, but I know.
He's taking 2 gnarly bumps through a
didn't-
table.
I didn't want Shane to do that. So, like, I don't need to watch him do a swanton and die. Like, I just don't want to see that. So, but either way, we're excited. WWE's finally starting to get good again. So,
Yep.
all right. On that note, we're gonna take off. All right. See ya.
See ya.
Next week.